Welcome back. All right, so fourth and final review of the night, and it's the last time I'm doing a four-game night. We will not have another four-game night for the rest of the playoffs unless in the next round they decide to put all four games on one day and nothing the next. They won't do that. So the Edmonton Oilers looking to show a little bit of heart, and they did. This is absolutely the kind of effort that if you're an Oilers fan, you've been looking for. For Kings fans, probably a little frustrated with how tonight ends up turning out. But hey, this ends up being a pretty strong showing for both Smith as well as for this 97. He's pretty good, this 97 guy. He's not bad. So it was Smith versus Quick in this one. McDavid and Draisaitl starting on the same line, so they went with the nuclear option. Putting them together is not always the choice that is made. Early, Brown chance was saved, and then on the first shot that the Oilers got, it goes in, and it's a wraparound on a rush, and it's McDavid, so it's a pretty filthy goal from Kane and Ceci at 140. Now, the team scoring first had won every game in this series. Yeah, so that bodes well for Edmonton right out of the gate. The Kings would press to answer. Draisaitl then had a rush opportunity. That wouldn't go. Durzi can't bury one in close as the Kings press. And this game was on the computer I'm recording on. I had another game on another computer and the other game on my TV. So there's three games on at this point at the same time. So doing my best to take notes on all three at the same time. Shots are 5-1 for the Kings at 4.5 minutes. It's not like during the regular season where I'm just flipping channels. No, I got to watch everything I can. Oilers press then at 6.5 minutes. McDavid was denied, and then the Kings get a power play. Kaliev had a blast that was held. Kopitar then had a net feed that was blocked and cleared. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that follows that. A pass to Hyman misses, but they do kill that off. Kulak then flattened Athanasiou on a rush. Keep your head up. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins then had a shot blocked as the Oilers press. Moore wanted a call that was not coming. Things get scrappy after a quick save. By which I mean Jonathan Quick, not a very fast... Oh, I'm sure it was a fast save as well. Athanasiou then had a chance that was saved. We get more pushing after that. The Kings get themselves a power play. And that was unsuccessful. Archibald hits a post on a wraparound. In the last minute, Kane had a chance that was held. Strong period for Smith. Strong period for the Oilers. And 5 shots for McDavid. So... pretty good period for McDavid, pretty good period for the Oilers, but it's only 1-0. And that's the thing. It's LA, it's only 1-0. They're at home. Second period, early press by the Oilers. Kane had a rush opportunity that was saved, and then he scores on his next opportunity from Kulak and Ceci at 150. And Kulak's fitting in pretty well with the Oilers. So he tipped the point shot by Kulak, and so that makes it 2-0. Roy then had a blast opportunity that was saved. Iafallo has a rush chance that's held. But the shots are 4-1 for the Oilers at 5 minutes. So one of those shots wasn't going at the net. That's one thing that they track. A goalie might make a great glove stop, but if it's not seen as being on the net, then doesn't count as a save. Moore has a net drive that's blocked. The Kings would press. Durzi had a shot deflect out. The Kings have some momentum at this point. And I checked on the app because I thought the Oilers were being pretty tidy, and I was right. The app showed no Oiler giveaways in the first 28 minutes. In fact, let me take a look, because I thought that was important. Over this series, we've seen their defense struggling. We've seen turnovers after turnovers. They ended up with 6 by the end of the game, but the Kings had 11. They had no takeaways. The Kings had 1. So this was not a game that saw a lot of turnovers and not a lot of takeaways going on there. So... good puck control by the Oilers. They then had a 3-on-1 that misfired because I wrote they had good puck control, so they had to prove that wrong on the next shift. Kings not getting sustained pressure, just one and done, basically. Kings had a 2-on-1. CC defends that. Good back and forth follows that the next shift. Kaliev had a shot that was saved. Stetcher's is held. Edler then had a chance that was blocked. Stetcher was denied as the Kings are pressuring. And then the Kings draw themselves a power play. So that's just, go and wear them down and wear them down, and it works. Durzi would score on what was a face-off win from the point at 13:59. Kempe and Kopitar with the assists, and it was over the pad and under the glove of Mike Smith. The Kings have some momentum. The crowd is really into it now with them on the board. The Oilers, though, they get a power play, which was 7 for 17 in the series. This is the only power play that the Oilers had in the game. Aggressive penalty kill, no setup in the first minute. Draisaitl then had a shot that was saved. The power play's killed off, and I think the Draisaitl shot was the only chance they really had. McDavid then had a rush chance tipped wide, and at the finish of the period, the Oilers had some pressure. So it's 2-1 Oilers after the second period. They had to feel pretty good about their chances going into the third. But we had an early press by the Kings, and this time they're the team that scores early in the period. It had been 140 and 150 respectively into each period when the Oilers scored, and now it's 29 seconds, and it's Grundstrom, who's had a fantastic run for LA, from Roy and Anderson, and that ties the game. Ryan then had a net feed that's defended. The Oilers are pressing for an answer. McDavid was down. He collided with Kaliev. I didn't see much there. I know they were talking about, well, Kaliev sees him coming and he could have moved out of the way. I don't know. I thought they both kind of braced for it. And I kind of felt like McDavid was trying to sell a call a little bit. And I get it. I totally get it. It's playoff time. And it makes sense. But I didn't see much there. McDavid then goes beast mode, but he can't bury it. Because, again, he puts the team on his back tonight. I thought that was really impressive because we've talked a lot about that in this series, right? I've seen plenty of criticism of McDavid and, he'll never win. And here he was putting the team on his back tonight. So the Oilers press. They're kept to the outside. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins then blasts one wide on a rush. McLeod has a net feed. That won't go. And we're getting more hits and collisions. That seemed to be ramping up at this point in the game. Brown then had a chance that was held. Lots of energy in the third period. Lots of back and forth and just a lot of really strong energy in this game. Moore then had a rush that was saved. McDavid's was saved as well. So back and forth rush chances. Then we have McDavid to Draisaitl. That's blocked out. And then Quick holds on to it before either of those guys can get anywhere near the puck. The Kings press with 9 minutes left. So things look good for the Kings at this point. They've tied the game. They've got some momentum. Quick's playing well. They're not letting McDavid and Draisaitl just run crazy. But the Oilers would press back with 7 minutes left. And then there was a nice three-way pass. McDavid sets the whole thing up with a rush. And then Barrie gets the goal from Draisaitl and McDavid at 14:50. So suddenly it's 3-2. Really quiets the crowd down quickly. So now the Kings have to answer. Iafallo has a rush that's denied. The Kings press, and they get a power play with 3:37 left. So had to be a little bit concerning for the Oilers and probably for some fans watching at home. Like, seriously, another power play for the Kings because the Oilers only had one tonight. Kempe has a blast that's kicked aside. With 2 minutes left, they decide, we're pulling the goalie, we're going for it. So there's an empty net miss by Archibald. However, Kane does not miss the empty net. He scores from McDavid at 19 minutes. That's his second goal of the game, and that's your insurance. The Edmonton Oilers are headed home for Saturday. There will be 2 Game 7s in Canada on Saturday. So, yeah, the Oilers series is now tied at 3. And there you go. The LA Kings, the Edmonton Oilers, really, really strong game. I thought it was enjoyable. Your 3 stars are McDavid, Roy, and Barrie. I'm perfectly fine with a Game 7. I think it's going to be very entertaining. Your shots, 15-12 Edmonton in the first, 13-8 Edmonton in the second, and then LA outshot them 12-9 in the third. Final shots were 37-32 for Edmonton. Power plays, the Oilers 0 for 1, the Kings 1 for 4. Hits, 30-26 for the Kings. Smith, 30 saves on 32 shots, and Quick, 33 saves on 36 shots. So we still have potentially an opportunity for Battle of Alberta in round 2. Calgary plays tomorrow in Dallas. They can end that series potentially. And the Oilers are at home for Game 7. It's an opportunity for them to potentially move on to the next round, which would silence some of the doubters. Not all, but it would silence some. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding this game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.